All right, we are in the 87s at Atlanta 2022. We got quite a large group of people, which is cool to see. And we're testing this just because iRacing is going to be making decisions on the schedule, it sounds like. So we're going to see if this is a fast 1.5 kind of 2 mile type track racing, or if it packs up. If it packs up and it's just another Talladega Daytona, since we can't take those off the schedule because they're required to be on the schedule each season, that means we'll never be able to race here at this track. But if it spreads out and races like a normal track, since we don't have plates, it's a possibility that we can say, hey, this would be a good place to run just for a little bit of a different atmosphere compared to all the cookie cutter tracks. It seems like it's going to be very right front limited, as all 87 races tend to be. And right now, not very packed up. You have to slow down. And yeah, the only unfortunate thing is the turn 3 pit entry. That will cause some weird stuff, but that is perfectly fine. Just how it goes. I am not fast, because I'm never fast in this car, but we will hopefully be slow enough to not ruin the right front and maybe make up some ground on that. We're essentially running the official series rules, 2 sets of tires, single file restarts, yellow flags on, and then no green white checkers, 90 laps for the race. Fixed set that iRacing has. And then I am doing wave arounds just because that will get more people back in the race if there is a yellow under caution. Alright, so, yeah, we've got... Jesus, I'm slow. What is going on? Where... Alright, we gotta go see... What am I doing? Okay, much higher line, cut down. Probably a rear brakes as well. Yeah, I think that's what's going on. So, yeah, we got quite a few people in here. Should be good. Hopefully we have a nice clean race. And just because these people are in here doesn't mean that they think one way or the other. They're just helping test the track to see if it's something that can go on the schedule or not. I'm going to go turn off my heater real quick and we will get going. Alright, 12 seconds, and we will move on to the race. So, Talon way out front on speed. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this race evolves. There's a lot different to it compared to a Talladega or a Daytona, and a lot more banking than you get at Charlotte or old Atlanta. So it's just going to be a interesting test to see what happens. But we're starting 22nd. Doesn't change anything when I host a race or do official. We're starting in the back.
The estimated strength of field is 3,079.
Okay.
Let's take off
and 3,000 strength of field with the 28 cars, so pretty much like a top split race midweek. Should give us some good data. Hopefully we don't all wreck out early.
Waiting on the final car to grid. You have 2 additional sets of tyres during this race. Have a good race.
So yeah, tires I think are going to be very important with the high speeds and the high loads on the right sides. I think that's going to turn into having to manage a bit. But if we do get to green flag stops, it is going to be a much longer pit road time just due to having to be down on the apron. And then the people that do wash up, they're going to have to go around again, otherwise they're going to get a penalty trying to enter. So you at least have that option to, if you committed there, you can go ahead and wash up and not pit and try to rebound from a mistake. Well, yeah, let's see what we get. And see what we can tell iRacing about this combo.
Post car is off, time to do your job. Green flag, green flag. Car inside.
Had a bit of a checkup there, and then I was out of gear and
clear inside. Car inside.
Just waiting for everyone to
Still there, hold your line.
get into position. I don't think this high side's going to be where we want to be. I'm going to do a big lift off here though. Let it kind of float. See if we get the run off the corner, or if we just get tight. And we just get tight.
Clear. 41.534.
Don't want to chop down just because I am doing a big lift into the corner. Definitely not pack racing, but are we going to all stick together at this distance, or is it going to spread out? So we can go probably 60, 65 on fuel. You can probably really stretch that out with some clutching and management that fast people are capable of doing. I think the biggest thing that we're going to see is right front and getting too tight off the corner. See Billy coming, so I'm just going to run up high and let him go because I really don't have any speed at the moment.
Clear. 31.359.
Little shovey there as I tried to get a drive off the corner. Things are definitely spreading out like a 1.5 just because we're not able to flat foot it. So yeah, I would not consider this to be anything like Talladega and Daytona, and honestly it's really not even that much different than the old Atlanta, other than the way the front stretch works with all the pavement on the inside and the pit road. Carry a little bit more speed, I think, through the corners, and I think that the top side may not be as viable. It is obviously a little bit narrower as well. But overall, I don't see any issue with running races here, just to break it up, since we only have so many 1.5s. And to help people have a little bit more value, getting 2 tracks out of one purchase.
31.626.
Plus, it's updated graphics, and other than the messed up hill in turn 1, it is much better looking than some of the old legacy content that are gonna continue to look more and more outdated as the NASCAR refresh happens to more tracks.
31.218.
Alright, we gotta back this brake bias up and see if we can kind of float the rear end in with a little drag. They are staying packed up. Really, I think this is, it's not packed up. I think it's more like Michigan is what I'm kind of getting the vibe from.
31.273.
But I don't feel like draft is anything. And since we don't have plates, I mean, I really wish, God, I wish we had a checkbox so that we could turn plates off for all the cars and just get to run what we want on a combo. Wait up in the wall, and that's a dangerous area up there because the angles get really tight when you're on that second lane.
Clear up top.
Big push. Yeah, no one's really getting away from each other up front, but I think there is your normal management happening as well. And I don't know if everyone's right front just died or what, but things got really weird feeling there, and we were all going much slower. But yeah, right now, 22nd. Just got to be patient because it is a very, very, very long fuel run. I assume just because these tires have a bit of a flaw in them and you can kind of manipulate things with the 2-tire stop, that the 2-tire stop is the way to go just because it's shorter and you don't lose time, and it loosens up the car because the setups are so tight. And unfortunately, since the tires are exactly the same every race and there's no variable within them, you only have the track heat and the rubber on the track as a variable. You start to understand it and able to find the little quirks and be able to get away with knowing exactly when to pit, how to pit, what's the quickest way. I do wish that they would build in some variable into the tires. Everyone would still be on the same tire, but you know, one race the tire may wear just a tiny bit more or heat up just a little bit easier, and that way it's just, you have to feel it a little bit, because obviously Nowadays, probably modern racing, one set to another set is gonna be pretty damn close. But back in the 80s, you know, one set to another set probably had quite a bit of variable, and that's including from car to car. But you can't really do that, because that wouldn't be fun for people if someone got a bad set of tires. So as long as you can build that variable in and everyone gets that same variable, I think that would open up a little bit more. Because right now we just kind of get into hot lap mode where people know exactly what they can do. And I mean, that's why I can't race more than once on a combo a week, usually, unless I just didn't get a good video out of it and I run it again. But even with the different weather, the tires are way too predictable. I think that should also happen within like a little bit of the chassis flex and some other parameters. Not different from car to car, but different from session to session, just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit. Otherwise, you can just practice way too well. And maybe provide seeds for those variables so that if a hosted session wants to have a predictable situation, you put in the seed for the tire and the chassis and whatever other variables are out there, and you can just load that up. And that also allows iRacing to build it into cars, but then not use it in official or rookie series and stuff like that. There's a lot of different things that they could do, but once you start adding more variables, that opens more bugs and more weird things that pop up. So it's going to be, do we want one thing to be perfect, or do we want a lot of options and maybe have a few flaws in that? But with their team getting bigger and bigger, and they've just done that variable thing in the clutch, and I believe it's different even car to car. I don't even know if it's the same for everyone in the session. That's a possibility. Take advantage of that little shove up here. High side really does not seem to be workable, which is very surprising to me. I think maybe you can get a little bit of a run out of it, but if you get that nose shove, things just start going backwards for you. Got a few people though up on the top side up front. The leaders haven't really checked out that much, and like I said, this is reminding me a lot of how it races and how the packs get at Michigan. Whew. He must have got a massive push. Oh no, oh, we got Brett losing it back there. I think he had to get going to the right and then might have caught the wall. And looks like he's calling it. I think he caught the wall possibly. Or could just be bored. And not a whole lot of action here. Out front they're probably having a whole different situation going on, and this mid-pack is definitely having a whole different race. It kind of feels like track position is a major factor. Like someone can kind of hold off faster cars easier than you normally get. I think it's because this setup is just so shovey out of the corner.
.77.
Lap times have fallen off about 1.5 seconds. The group up front, not the group up front, the pack just ahead of us has fallen off, but someone just had a moment pushing up to that wall. We're currently on lap 24 and possibly
32.212.
going to, well, we've still got 42 laps on the fuel, so feel like someone's going to bounce it off the wall on corner exit, and we'll get a caution that way. About to get 3 wide here, and they back it off. I don't think I've ever seen Carter's name, so it's good to see one of the names I don't know back out of that situation, because 3 wide into 1 probably would have been a little rough. Billy's going to go to the top side to try to get around Corey. He looks like he's fallen off. We're just going to back it off here, just because he may have been one of those people that was getting tight off the corner. Billy's going to have a... He doesn't really get a run off that high side. It's just really weird how this is racing. And who knows if this setup is actually the setup that they would bring to the series. It definitely could be way looser, but you can say that about every setup. But yeah, very difficult to make a pass on the high side. We're going to go up here and try it. He's going to overdrive that. Thankfully he lifted out of it.
Still there at bottom. Clear. 32.6.
Alright, we're up to 19th now. Oh, Billy got tight there. Yeah, the right front is just massively valuable. And I think 2 tires is going to completely change how this thing runs. Almost to the point that going long may not be the answer. I think if you can run the second lane a little looser, you may be flying. But we're just going to hang out here. We got John behind us who's followed up through. He had to check up a little bit for Cameron. And that's Alex in the Miller Lite car. He is pulled away from us and up in that pack, but that pack is going to be difficult to get through with only the 2 lanes and the top lane not working. I think you are just so much better off setting up, getting the nose under the car ahead of you to make the pass. I think that's really the only way, but he does that and then overdrives and goes way up the track. Sage has got to avoid a little bit, gets up into the wall. That'll open it up for Billy here. Although Billy not able to take advantage of that checkup. Maybe just letting him gather it up. Yeah, I don't think going down to the apron on the front stretch is helping anyone, because it looks like it just really upsets the car, and you're so far low that you can't really turn into the corner when you do get to one.
Outside. Still there. Outside, clear.
Try not to push up there too much.
32.528.
Probably use that apron a little bit to hook you around the corner. That is kind of a possibility. And I'm not even good, so good people will really be able to make that work. Let's see what happens to Billy's car here on entry. He gets it slowed down so he doesn't go shoving up there. Looks like you have a bit of stability as long as you don't go too low. Earlier checkup than I was ready for. Just gotta get on the brakes. So yeah, all these guys, the three white cars, are doing the cut down up there. Oh, big shove. Got on it too early. Just keep it low and slow. Get off the corner. Billy's now checking out. There's definitely just a little bit of... It's much harder to make a pass here, it seems, compared to a 1.5, to a normal 1.5, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, really, it's just narrower, and I think that's it. I think that's all that's really coming into play, and the top side really doesn't have a lot of grip. But without a plate, you know, this track is just a 1.5, and the banking is not all that extreme, but I think the transition off the corner is maybe kind of funky, and that's why the bad push is happening. I don't know. Something is different, but not like fully different. Just interesting that we're not pack racing, but we're really packed up here just because everyone's having a hard time getting around each other. Except for Billy. Billy is starting to check out. He has worked his way up. He's gotten around Alex now, who I thought was checking out, but then he kind of got stuck in the middle of this group.
32.632.
We just got to look for our opportunity to get a nose under Carter here. We got a big old run there. Let's head back to the top and see.
32.415 inside. Clear.
We cut down with that run. can. There was someone in the wall. We're kind of getting jammed up here. Back off. Let them have some room to breathe. Nick's still kind of recovering there. Yeah, Carter, if you're not part of the league and you want to be, put an invite in. I like how he's racing. And in the league, it's just show up when you can to the races that you can. There's no requirement of having to be at every race. I know that people have lives, and I change my events based on my needs through the seasons. Alright, so we kind of figured out how to get a run, but I don't know if that run was due to Nick being up in the wall, or if it was due to us actually getting a run. But the cut down definitely gives you a little boost if you do it right. But if you don't do it right, then you're up in that second lane, shoving the nose like crazy. Alright, we're at halfway. Who is going to be popping in over the next few laps to try to gain a bit of an advantage? Is there a bit of an advantage out there? Need about 7 gallons of fuel.
32.348. Car outside. Keep low. Still there. Outside is clear.
I don't know, I really feel like, yeah, I feel like that is the call. I think those that get down early are going to make up a lot more ground because they're going to be able to make moves. And like always, fall off has just stopped. We were at 32 4s and we were at 32 2s or 1s like 20 laps ago. Old Keegan and Jake up here though, they have been at the front of this group and no one has been able to really get around them. So we're going to send it in on the high side, but back it down so that we can turn and see if that gets us. That was too much, too aggressive. But you can see what I'm going for there. We're driving down the corner as the car in front of us is pushing up. But these guys are too quick for that to work, and I blew that entry so much.
32.508.
There it is. That is how you get the nose there. But then you just got to be careful on entry that you don't shove up.
Stay low.
Oh, we overdrove it. And now we're looking like a complete jackass down here. I'm pretty sure he's even trying to let me go and I'm being so shit. Really bad when it takes a lap and a half to make a pass down low because I'm always pinching it too tight. Lee has gone into the pits, so enough people have went into the pits early. I'm not going to go do that. I think we've had enough from each portion of the track. But let's see if we can get a nose in under here and stop his cut down. And then maybe that gets us up one more spot.
32.663. Outside clear. You're in the top 10.
Big shove. Keegan's headed in. We got 16 laps left. See if we got any pace here.
32.555.
Nope, we got no pace.
32.622.
Well, I didn't practice pitting. I'm not going to, though. And Billy's going to go ahead and go in because we're holding him up. I think that is my cue to bring it on in now. Although a caution would destroy our race.
32.541.
But did Lee get a penalty? I think he did. Now this is going to prevent us from getting on the pit road there. And I think he got himself an entry and then probably an exit one as well. I thought it looked like maybe he entered off a 4 there. Uh-oh. And we got Wade around. Nope. Yep. Shit. And turning right up into the straightaway. Always gonna fuck you. Alright, well, we are out of the race now, but now we can watch and see what happens. It's just, I was going low, then he started rolling back down the track, and I can't, like, you turn right at that point on the front stretch, and you're completely fucked. Nothing we can do there. Alright, well, let's turn this off. And let's see what all goes on out here. Everyone's trying to catch the pace car, which is, I think it's really screwed up here. Eric did not go down to the pit entry, and I think he gets caught out and is going to have to pit the next time because he wasn't ready to get down to that. Thinking maybe the rules were different under yellow, or it didn't say pit road open at the right place, and so no one knew till mid-corner. We'll see what happens. We should have a lucky dog. But we're just going to watch from chase cam just to give ourselves a better idea of what's going on. Yeah, what was our 70-82? We did not need tires, so that right front was not as bad as I thought. Let's make sure that we're live. We are. Yeah, front guys were 48-81. But they were going quicker, so yeah, so all these guys are gonna end up at the back, but I think a lot of them were trying to get caught up because everything got messed up with that wreck where it was at. Lee, well, he was trying to get down to pit road and Kale was coming across. Yeah, that pit road entry being right there really screws things up for people. And well, we can race under green, but yellow flags are bad. And I think that ends Kale's day as well. That's unfortunate. But I'm pretty sure Lee was trying to get down low and get to the back. Did a wave around not happen? What? Where did he get a black flag? That shouldn't be a black flag. Is that a black flag? I thought you could come back up. That's weird. I guess since he went low. Odd. Don't know. Don't understand that. But I guess if you commit, if you go down there in a wreck over in this corner and you didn't go through the commit area, then it's fine to come back out on the track. But I guess if you cross under that cone, you can't come back out. So
The pace car is off. Be
good
ready.
to know. I did not think it was going to work that way.
Green, green, green.
And we're going to go ahead and just clear penalties for everyone here once they get across the line. All right, so out front we got Adam, who is on the tail end of the lead lap. For some reason, wave arounds didn't work, even though I put it on there. We got Daniel and Talon out front, kind of by themselves. Billy a lap down from pitting. Mark in third, Warren in fourth. And we've only got 30 laps left, so unless these two up front completely toast their tires, I don't think they're gonna. I mean, that's a long ways Mark's got to make up, and from what it felt like, making up a little distance was kind of tough. Eric, he's got a lot of ground to make up from wherever he was. He might have been the leader when the yellow came out. He's not too far behind, but does have lap cars to get around. So I think my final verdict on this is it works as a track. Is it a must-have fun thing? No. But it can work. So I don't really see a need for it to be on the schedule unless a lot of people want, and this is just my opinion, we'll see what everyone else's opinion is of it, but the setup's not helping us decide it. If it was a looser setup, I think this would be an amazing race, kind of on edge on that right rear, pushing it to the limit, but that's not what this series is. That's apparently not what iRacing wants this series to be. So we just got to work within their parameters. And yeah, I was gonna say that, you know, this could be a potential next season track. And if everyone else thinks that, hey, this was a lot of fun, cool, then we'll throw it on there. But yeah, I'm not convinced. I think that obviously old Atlanta is better because you can actually use the high line. It's so crazy how the high line just does not work here, but again, that could just be the setup is so tight. And so there's not really a whole lot that you can do with that. Keegan, I think maybe he got the wave around. He's 8 seconds ahead. I don't know what all happened there. I'm just letting everything go pretty much just because it's supposed to be like an official race. But that Mark obviously would have got screwed over had that happened. But we also thought that you could go down there and come back up and be fine. Kind of like Gateway. But that is not the case. Billy making way. These guys did catch up, so front guys start saving, or Mark pushing, or when Billy got up there trying to make a couple of passes to get in position. It looks like Billy's actually 2 laps down from that yellow, so that, yeah, this pit entry seems to be kind of a problem, and that also makes me lean towards not using this track just because it is so opposite of everything that this series, the 87 cars, were. I mean, we should have crazy ass no pit speed limits, come back up on the track in turn 1, but unfortunately iRacing does not make series specific rules, and they're tied to the track, which kind of hurts our ability to be flexible. But yeah, overall it's fine.
Okay, go.
It's no different than Kansas, I would say, and I think there's too many issues with pit road. But yeah, maybe a looser setup here, then it could be a really fun race. But I think we all know that setups are not going to be changing. Lee is having a hard time here. He just smacked the wall. Back here, we got all these guys still together. This has been a non-stop pack since the start of the race. Where is Eric? Holy shit. Eric wants this track on the schedule. He has made a massive recovery. All right, so we got 17 laps left. We're going to start getting a little bit of that push since we're about 13 laps in. I'm just amazed that Eric was able to make up that much time. So, yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing what everyone else's thoughts are on this track that are in this race. I was hoping for a little more on throttle time in the center of the corner, but I'm pleased that there isn't, I guess, because then it makes it more of a racetrack. But yeah, that pit road, I think, just kind of ruins everything, because you got people coming out of the pits and you got people going into the pits, and it's right at that same point, and that's going to cause issues. I know that's the same thing that, you know, C, B, and A all have to deal with, and probably worse with their restrictor plates. But oh, he's getting into Warren. Probably helped Warren get turned a little. Greg just behind this. Looks like he's kind of keeping distance, saving tires. I think he's had to come up through the field as well. Just, I can't remember if he was up here or not to start with. But 13 laps left here. Eric now making his move to get under Warren. Is he going to be able to get a run off? Yeah, Warren gets a little shove there. And you just see his car go backwards relative to Eric. Also really surprised by the line. Eric's not really going too high. Oh, he got a big shove there though. Us slow guys in the back, we were going much higher and cutting down more on exit, but it looks like he is getting a ton of speed, just kind of wrapping a few feet off the red line. Has he taken too much out of the tires trying to get back up here through the field? Are the front guys just saving? Warren and Greg must be side by side. They are. Billy's looking good. He's been hanging with them. Unfortunately, just pitting at the wrong time there. Jake, not too far off. He was at the front of that second pack. Carter, much further back. Michael, Adam, Corey, Daniel lost out somewhere in all of this. He may have been one of those people that didn't pit, or maybe he did pit and had to get a wave around or something. I don't know. Then John, Nick, and Alex back here. Mark's got some damage. Cameron, Hayden, Sage, Tyler, and then all of us wrecked cars. Here comes Eric. Oh, and Mark goes up the track on the tri-oval, gets into the wall. You just, when you're going through that straightaway, if you turn a little bit to the right, all your momentum just sends you to the wall. But Mark gets a good run on that high side. Gonna be 8 to go. Oh wow, I think Mark just dropped in there. Warren and Greg still side by side here. Greg backs off a little bit there, just started to get a tiny bit of a pinch and saw that and just kind of, it was either going to be contact or he backs out. All right, well, battle between a 7,400 I-rated car and 4,700 I-rated car. They both eat the wall there. Here comes Mark. I think Mark's toast, though. I'll try to remember after the race to have everyone type in a 1 out of 10 grade for what they think, just so that you can see it here on the video. I think Talon's going to be way too strong. But is the draft pulling Eric up here? Is that what's going on? See the middle of the corner. Talon starts to pull away. Exit of the corner, though. Eric able to even it out. Then the draft down the back stretch. Doesn't really give you a whole lot. It seems like the front stretch might be... I mean, obviously it's longer, but might provide more of a catch-up. Coming to 3 to go. He's closing. He's getting closer and closer. He's running slightly higher. Doesn't get as good of an exit there, but I think he gets the draft all the way down the front stretch. Gets a better exit there. Oh, but it gets a little pushy right at the end. 2 to go this time. He's going to go with a little higher entry here. Is he going to be able to get it to rotate, turn down? He loses a ton in the middle of the corner doing that. And, yeah. It can work on slow people, but I don't think that's going to work on closing the gap here. White flag this time. 0.3 seconds now. Holy shit. Where did the orange car come from? Final lap. Warren's getting that cut down, but that time hit the red line, pushes up a little bit. Talon's going to get the win unless he clobbers the apron or something funky. And there we go. Give a grade. Let's see what everyone says.
There's the flag. It's over. Okay, we'll get them next time.
Let's see if anyone... Sometimes, if everyone's got the messages, they can't see this in-car. Might just not get any feedback. Might just all be in Discord. But yeah, for me, my personal opinion, which doesn't mean a whole lot, I think it doesn't provide anything unique other than a lot of unique bad situations. So yeah, Billy's saying the same thing. No plates for all cars would be awesome. But, yeah, we just, we learned. So, obviously too tight. But again, like we said, that's not something that can be changed unless iRacing wants to change it. So I'll look and see in Discord what everyone thinks, but yeah, seems like people enjoyed it, or at least it's better than they thought it would be. Is it worth kicking off a Las Vegas or Chicagoland or something else? I don't think so, just because of the pit road issue, but we'll see what everyone says. So thanks to everyone for coming out and testing that out, and thanks for watching.